Keep the applause going for your second surprise comedian of this evening. His name is Socrates!
Thank you so much. Keep it going there for Joe Eagan. How y'all doing tonight? My name is Socrates. I am an American. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. You know, we're trying our best, you know. So I've been living here since about 2009. I'm trying to learn my Dutch. I was forced recently to learn a new Dutch word. Didn't want to, but I was forced to. That word is aangereden. I'll use it in a sentence is, ik ben aangereden door een scooterklotser. Which, thanks, appreciate that too. Which unfortunately means I got ran into by a scooter driven by an asshole. Yeah, I didn't know people needed to know it, but the bike path is not for cars. And the scooter was surprised by that, so he was staring at the car. And unfortunately, when I came around the blind corner, you know, I was going to say, please don't drive on the bike path, but what I said was, ah! And then I went for a flight. The flight part was fun. The landing, not so fun. I got to do the whole ambulance thing, and you know, people say about in the Netherlands, you know, no matter what you have, doctors give paracetamol. You know, brain cancer, paracetamol. Not me. No, they're like, would you like some fentanyl? I'm an American, so my first reaction was no, you know, because fentanyl's a short trip to a heroin addiction. I'm not against the heroin addiction. I'm just kind of putting it off for a couple more years. But my shoulder said, hey, you should have the fentanyl. And I took it. It didn't actually help. I got to the hospital. They were like, would you like some morphine? I said, yes, please. And the morphine, fantastic. 5-star drug. Highly recommend the morphine. And then they gave me more morphine and Oxycontin. And so I've been doing a lot of these things recently, unfortunately. So to me, this is you know, one of these crazy kind of nights. You know, I'm looking through a little bit of a haze, but I'm here. And so I've achieved T-Rex level of evolutionary health so far. So I was asking the doctor, you know, what do you think? You know, because basically it's broken up in my shoulder, so it's not the greatest thing. I asked him, you know, what do you think about my situation here? And he said, this is basically a helaas pindakaas situation. Which is a great Dutch saying. It's not at all useful if you don't know what it means, but it's not more useful if you do understand it, because it means, oh well, peanut butter. Not a useful medical diagnosis either, I gotta tell you. And I asked if I could get a second opinion, because I already paid the $350 deductible, so it's gratis, and freedom, you know, free stuff is great in Dutch. So I asked another doctor his opinion, and he was a little more optimistic, and he said, it comes good. And if you haven't had enough doctors or therapists, at some point they'll tell you, it comes good. Which is not useful, again, it's not even a sentence, you know what I mean? And so it's like, they call this a conservative treatment, but they didn't get a cast or anything, no hips, they just gave me this, which is a nice way of saying the Dutch are cheap. I mean, had I fallen at the crucifixion, same injury, they'd have done the same thing, wrap a vine around me, give me some opium, say, it comes good. But is anybody going out with a Dutch person, especially in the front row, because I can see any Dutch, anyone dating Dutch people? No? Bunch of masturbators? Okay. Can't blame it. But there's a Dutch word that's applicable to this. It's the most confusing of all Dutch words, and if you hang out with enough Dutch people, you will eventually hear it. And that word is, the first time you hear this word, you don't really know how to interpret it. You know, you're like, I hear myself saying it waiting for trains. And it's a word you have to sort of experience to truly understand it, I think. There's lots of worse times to hear it, though. It's like, I think one of the worst times to hear this is after sex. That was all right, huh? Yeah, could be worse, you know. You could hear it before sex. But I like living here in the Netherlands. You know, they have, again, it's a cool kind of a culture in its own little way. Every place has its own special words. You know, like the Germans, they needed a word for finding pleasure in other people's misfortune. You know, Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude, nobody else has said that up to this point, so you're the first one. They were just enjoying the fact that I can't pronounce it. It's a little Schadenfreude. Yeah. And like, the Dutch, of course, their favorite word, or one of the best words for the Netherlands, is gezellig. Is that okay? And gezellig is basically, it's a warm and wonderful evening, but it's like, you can't exactly do it by yourself. It's a group thing, It takes us as a group. This is gezellig as a function, as a group. And I think it's one of the nice things about it. The weather's not so nice outside, so we make the inside things gezellig. And but like I said, it takes a group to do it. You can't exactly do it by yourself. If you talk to your friend, what you do last night, well, I went out on a boat with some friends. It was gezellig. And you? I stayed home and masturbated. It's fun, but it's not exactly gezellig, I mean, unless you do it in a big group. Because that works as a gezellig kind of a thing. And, but again, the Dutch are like, as an American, it's a bit of culture shock, like you ask any American, best country in the world, they still say America. Yeah, I know, they should, but they do. Ask a Russian, same sort of a thing, but you ask a Dutch guy, best country in the world, they go, best country, I don't know. Say, hello, the Netherlands? Like, no. Yeah, think? Yeah, this place is fantastic. So, but I'm not sure what I'm doing out here time-wise, because again, the accent, but I'm going to end up closing up with a little thing. You were Spanish? Who was the Spanish guy? You're the American guy who doesn't look like you're an American guy. You can fit in here. You're like a chachki or something. But in Spain, see, in America, we have our word for our favorite little person, our sugar pie, honey bun. Because if you love somebody, you should make them fat and give them a heart attack. What's your Spanish word for my favorite little sweetie honey pie?
Guapísima.
Guapísima. That's not so.
Cariño.
Cariño. There's a discussion going on. But either way, these are very nice words. Cariño. I like it. You know what the Dutch went with? Schatje. Cariño. Schatje. I don't get this. Every sound to pick from, you went with schatje. Personally, I think a nicer word is ouchie, which is a little onion. It's my little ouchie. Who was here with my ouchie? I think that sounds nicer, doesn't it? Every culture's got their own thing. And anyway, so my little ouchies, for you, this has been what they call a painkiller. This has been a nice piece of pain, I can't say painkiller, painkiller. I'm going to go home and take another one. My name is Socrates. You guys are great. Thanks, Joe. I'll see you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Socrates!